Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Raushanara Khatun, Associate Professor of Gynae and Obs in Ad-Din Hafiz Medical College, Khulna. Today we are discussing about management of true postpartum hemorrhage. The principles of management of true postpartum hemorrhage are simultaneous approach like communication, resuscitation, monitoring and arrest of bleeding. It is essential in all cases of major postpartum hemorrhage, that is blood loss more than 1000 ml or clinical shock. The immediate measures are to be taken by the attending house officer. Call for extra help, that is involve the obstetric registrar on call or senior obstetrician. Put in 2 large bore intravenous cannula. Keep patient flat and warm. Send blood for full blood count, grouping, cross-matching, diagnostic test, that is renal function test, liver function test, coagulation profile including fibrinogen level, and ask for 2 units of blood. Rapidly infuse normal saline or Himaxil 2 liters till blood is available. To catheterize the bladder. To monitor pulse, blood pressure, temperature, intake output, oximeter every 15 to 30 minutes. Now actual management. Before actual management, abdominal palpation should be done. If the uterus felt hard and contracted, then it is traumatic bleeding. In traumatic bleeding, exploration should be done and hemostatic sutures to the tear side should be done for controlling bleeding. If the uterus felt flabby, then it is atonic uterus, and in that cases, massage the uterus to make it hard. To add oxytocin 10 to 20 units in 500 ml of normal saline at the rate of 40 drops per minute. Injection methazine 0.2 mg IV slowly should be given. To examine the expelled placenta for missing cotyledon. If after that uterus failed to contract, then the next step. The next step should be exploration of the uterus and blood transfusion to continue oxytocin drip. In refractory cases, still the uterus is atonic, then 15 methyl prostaglandin alpha 2 250 microgram intramyometrial, misoprostol 1000 microgram per rectum or carbetocin 100 microgram IM or IV. Uterus is still not contracting, then surgical procedure should be tried. Surgical procedures are stepwise uterine devascularization procedure. Any method of Billings compression and multiple square sutures may be given. Ligation of uterine artery and utero-ovarian anastomotic vessels unilateral or bilateral should be done. Ligation of anterior division of internal iliac artery unilateral or bilateral may be done. Angiographic arterial embolization should be done. If all methods are failed to contract the uterus, then at last hysterectomy should be done for save the life of patient. Now secondary postpartum hemorrhage. The bleeding usually occurs between 8 and 14 days of delivery. The causes of late postpartum hemorrhages are retained bits of cotyledon or membrane, most common, and infection and separation of slap over and deep cervicovaginal laceration, endometritis and subinvolution of the placental side due to delayed healing process. Secondary hemorrhage from caesarean section wound usually occurs between 10 to 14 days. It is probably due to separation of the slap exposing bleeding vessel or from granulation tissue. Withdrawal bleeding following estrogen therapy for suppression of lactation. Other rare causes are chorionephithelioma occurs usually beyond 4 weeks of delivery. Carcinoma cervix, placental polyp, infected fibroid or fibroid polyp, and puerperal inversion of uterus is very rare. Diagnosis: the bleeding is bright red and varying amount. Rarely it may be brisk. Varying degree of anemia and evidence of sepsis are present. Internal examination reveals evidence of sepsis, subinvolution of the uterus, and often bacillus cervix. Ultrasonography is useful in detecting the beads of placenta inside the uterine cavity. Principles of management are to assess the amount of blood loss and to replace it, that is blood transfusion, to find out the cause and to take appropriate steps. Supportive therapy: blood transfusion if necessary, to administer metharzine 0.2 mg intramuscularly if bleeding is uterine in origin, to administering antibiotics as a routine. Conservative approach: if the bleeding is slight and no apparent cause is detected, a careful wash for a period of 24 hours or so is done in the hospital. Active management: as the most common cause is due to retained beads of cotyledon or membrane, it is preferable to explore the uterine cavity as early as possible under general anesthesia. One should not ignore the small amount of bleeding, as unexpected alarming hemorrhage may follow sooner or later. The products are removed by the ovum forceps. Gentle curettage is done by using flushing curette or sponsoling forceps. Metharzine 0.2 mg is given intramuscularly. The materials are sent for histopathological examination. Presence of bleeding from the sloughing wound of the cervicovaginal canal should be controlled by hemostatic sutures. Secondary hemorrhage following caesarean section may at times require laparotomy. The bleeding from uterine wound can be controlled by hemostatic sutures, may rarely require ligation of the internal iliac artery by hysterectomy. We are finishing our discussion. Allah Hafiz. Thank you.